Welcome to Our Communiversity Today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber and Company, a community affairs program from West Virginia Institute of Technology in Beckley, hosted by Dr. T. Ramon Stuart, president of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, working to make a difference in Southern West Virginia. Guest opinions expressed on this program may not represent the opinions of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, Southern Communications, or its sponsors. And now, with today's program, here's Dr. Stewart.
Welcome to Our Communiversity Today. I'm Dr. Ramon Stuart, president of WVU Tech here in Beckley, and I'm thankful that you chose to be with us today as we explore Our Communiversity. From week to week, I remind you that I believe the communiversity means that the community is the university and the university is the community. And what better way to showcase that than with our guest today, Patsy Stoots, who is a faculty member in the School of Nursing, and also our president for the day, Jasmin Bixby. And they're going to talk about how the School of Nursing and nursing as a profession as a whole serves the community, especially with some of the big things that are coming up at the Salvation Army here in the early parts of December. So as we explore those topics today with Patsy and also President Bixby, as always, we want to ask two important questions on Our Communiversity Today. Why not us? And why not now? So ladies and gentlemen, right after this break, we will be back with more Our Communiversity Today on News Talk WWNR.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride at Pendleton Community Bank. Our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
There are so many ways to explore WVU Tech. Come tour our state-of-the-art facilities, meet our Dean of Students, and learn about student life, from clubs to mental health resources and student support services. See what living on campus is like and get financial aid advice. You'll see why being a Golden Bear is right for you. Visit wvutech.edu/admissions for all the ways to visit our campus.
Holy cow, I can't believe the time that I've wasted, and this website still is down.
With arms wide open, Cucumber and Company is ready to take your business higher with a custom website that actually works for you. Don't wait until your old site takes its one last breath. Get a fresh design today at cucumberandcompany.com.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity Today. Again, we're visiting with one of the School of Nursing faculty member, Patsy Stoots, and also our president for the day, Jasmin Bixby, to talk about community involvement and engagement. Patsy, how are you today?
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
I cannot complain. You know, I tell people all the time, all my good days outweigh my bad days, so I won't complain. And You're here today, and you've been at WVU Tech almost 2 years, going up on your second year. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Patsy Stoots. I'm a native to Southern West Virginia. Grew up in Eccles, so just north of Surveyor. I graduated from what used to be Mountain State on this campus, so it's a little bit ironic to bring this full circle and be back in the same buildings teaching. I worked in emergency medicine my whole career, starting in 2012. I did some flight nursing for about 7 years. And ironically, I ended up helping with education in the critical care aspect and found that it really was a passion of mine to start seeing those light bulbs go off as students were putting pieces together. So that road just naturally led me into education. So here I am at WVU Tech.
And so how ironic you go from being a practicing nurse, a flight nurse, to also now educating nurses. And Madam President, you know, one of the things I always talk about, what do you want to be when you grow up? So President Bixby, what do you want to be?
A nurse.
Excellent. So tell me more about why you want to be a nurse.
Mainly because when my little sister, Kendall, was born, she had like all kinds of blockages in her stomach, and she was in the hospital for like the first 6 months.
Excellent. And so through that particular experience, you saw the value of nurses and what they did to make your little sister be healthy.
Hmm.
Excellent. So now, Patsy, when you think about your Madam President and her future aspirations, wanting to be a nurse, how does that make you feel?
It's exciting. Nursing is a job that it's always going to be present and it's always going to be a need. And then especially in Southern West Virginia, we have a lot of older patients that have chronic illnesses, and nursing is going to be a profession that we always need. So having bright young minds that are excited to be here and want to go out and make a difference, it's refreshing.
And so what made you want to be a nurse?
So I grew up in Southern West Virginia. I have some unhealthy family members, and I just have always had good experiences in the healthcare system. And I just always wanted to emulate that.
Well, I love it. And, I hear from both of you that you've had some personal experiences that have led to actually going through and wanting to be a nurse, being a nurse, and then wanting to be a nurse. So, Patsy, when you think about your new role as a nurse professional, you're at the School of Nursing here on the campus of Tech. We proudly say that we have the #2 nursing program in the entire state, only behind West Virginia University in Morgantown. So you and your colleagues actually are doing phenomenal work. Tell me what it takes to make you be the #2 nursing program in the entire state.
Listen, I can speak for our whole faculty group when I say we're very passionate about what we do. We're very passionate about our students. We care about them not just from an academic level, but from a personal level as well. We get to know these students on a personal level. We know their stories. We know their backgrounds. And I think we're able to bring it to them in a way that they feel seen and heard. And that makes a difference in their education because they see that we want them to be successful.
And you talked about passion. And so, Madam President, what is your passion? What makes you passionate?
Wanting to help people.
I love it when I hear young people with that service mindset, the need and the desire to help people. And what I guess Florence Nightingale would tell you, what more noble profession than to be able to help somebody is through nursing. Along those lines. And so, Patsy, you talked about how your faculty, your fellow colleagues and stuff, how dedicated you are to the students. I was just looking at some numbers related to retention, and I saw that the School of Nursing on Tech's campus has an 84% retention rate. So how do you all go out, not only recruit students, but also retain them?
Honestly, for me, that's the easiest part of the job. It's all about developing those relationships with the students and being aware of what their struggles are, because we are a little bit of a smaller campus, so it's easy to be a little bit more intimate in those relationships. So I can develop that rapport and be able to go to a student and say, hey, what's your struggle today? What's going on? You're not acting yourself. And from my experience, that makes a difference. They're able to open up and explain, hey, I've got this financial situation, or I've got this ill family member, and we're able to meet them where they are and bring them up to where they need to be.
Yeah, and I say that all the time on campus. We must meet people where they are and help them go to places they've never dreamed of going. So when you meet that student, when you meet that first generation college student, where I just saw some other things that our retention rate on first generation students went from 50 to 66%. How do you reach out to those students? How do you meet them where they are and get them where they need to go?
For me personally, I can connect with them because I'm a first generation college student myself. So growing up in a low socioeconomic region, I'm able to understand some of those unique struggles that they're experiencing that maybe someone that comes from a more affluent background wouldn't know.
And so, Madam President, I don't know your background or anything along those lines, but obviously you want to be successful. And so who are some people that help you, like Patsy is talking about, she helps the students at WVU Tech?
My parents and my friends.
And so having that support group is very, very important, because water conforms to its container and you all can build each other up. And so what do you do to help build other people up?
Be kind.
Be kind. I love it. What the world needs right now is more kindness, more love, more appreciation of one another. And so I just love that notion. So Patsy, as you're in the classroom and you're seeing these future nurses and you see the challenges, the opportunities and stuff. Tell us a little bit more about your philosophy in terms of being an educator and making sure that these students have what they need.
Well, we are in a unique position in that we do have a lot of great resources. We have a simulation lab that offers very up-to-date technology. We have VR headsets, which is some of the up-and-coming components that we're utilizing in the education setting. We have a lot of resources. We have the Student Health Center that one of our faculty members actually runs. So if there is an issue that's identified in the classroom, we're able to get that referral set up, oftentimes same day. We have a lot of services as far as things like TRIO that help with those low socioeconomic status or those individuals that maybe have learning needs that we can help bridge that gap. I think that just our personability on this campus makes it positions us very beautifully to help these students.
Yeah, and help is so important. And one of the things I always admire about the program is your volunteer efforts. And the Student Nursing Association on campus usually talks about how many hours they volunteer. Isn't that above 1,000?
Oh yeah. We spend a lot of time out in the community doing good things. Our students, we have some of the best students. Of course, I'm a little biased, but we have some of the best students in the area, and they're always out doing great things.
Okay. And so, President Bixby, being in middle school here locally, do you get out and volunteer? Yes. And so what are some of the volunteer activities you engage in?
My brother plays for Pikeview Cubs, and I help volunteer concessions and picking up trash.
I love it. And so and I love it. You always helping your siblings and everything like that. How do you feel when you help other people?
Good.
Good? How good?
Really good.
Really good. I love it. And ladies and gentlemen, if you could see the face on Madam President as that smile emanates from her, you can tell that deep down inside you have a servant heart. And I cannot wait till the day you take care of me when you grow up to be a nurse and everything. And I probably need you now, but we won't talk about that. But so Patsy, when you look and you think about coming up, finishing your year or so at Tech, how do you feel?
Listen, I love it. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be able to experience these students and their brains and how their minds work, and just their passion for their community it's very reassuring. We need good humans.
Well, I love it. We need good humans. Ladies and gentlemen, in studio with us today again, Patsy Stoots, faculty member in the School of Nursing here at Tech, and also our president for the day, Jasmin Bixby. We're going to take a short break, so stay tuned to News Talk WWNR for more Our Communiversity today.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Holy cow, I can't believe the time that I've wasted, and this website still is down.
With arms wide open, Cucumber & Company is ready to take your business higher with a custom website that actually works for you. Don't wait until your old site takes its one last breath. Get a fresh design today at cucumberandcompany.com.
Looking for the best college decision in West Virginia? WVU Tech has just been ranked the top school in the state and is the college with the best return on investment. Our 6 ABET accredited engineering programs and nursing program are ranked in the top 100 in the nation. When you become a Golden Bear, you're choosing a top quality education that will pay off. Discover more at wvutech.edu today.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity today. Again, in studio is Patsy Stoots, a faculty member of the School of Nursing here at Tech, and also our president for the day, Jasmin Bixby, who are talking about service. And Patsy, you know, when you think about service, you talk about your humble beginnings, first generation college student from here in Southern West Virginia. You talk about having gone to Mountain State because it's being close and accessible, getting your nursing career started. You know, you've been in the hospitals, you've been a flight nurse, and now you're educating the future minds, educating people at, again, the #2 nursing school in the entire state. You know, if they come to you, you keep them in with 84% of the students returning in terms of retention. So those are so many things that you got to be proud of. But one of the things that was interesting to me, we were talking about the Student Nursing Association and the amount of volunteer hours that they do. But you do way more than just educate and nurse. So tell me more about your passion for volunteering.
Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, our students go out and do a lot of great things. And this year, we're hoping to initiate what's going to be an annual event. But one of our big events that's coming up, we're doing a community health fair in partnership with the Salvation Army. So on December 3rd, starting at 10 a.m. until 1 p.m., we are bringing in vendors and local agencies to provide some information and some resources to the community completely free of charge. In partnership with that, our junior and senior level students are going to be in there as well. So our juniors are going to be coming in with just some baseline education about things like healthy diet, exercise, smoking, vaping, some of the common issues that we see in our community today. And our senior level students are going to be presenting their capstone projects that they've been working on for the entire semester. So a lot of what their community course that we're in right now for the semester is geared toward essentially a change project. So they're assigned to do clinical hours with a one-on-one, usually community service, where they're out doing things with places like hospice or the daycare center at the VA. So their whole goal is to identify a gap for that population and to see what they can do to bring in education or make a change. So they'll be presenting their posters at the health fair on the 3rd as well.
So I need to unpack this because there's a lot going on there. So you're going to be at the Salvation Army, I think you said December the 3rd.
Yes, sir.
The new facility sponsored by Chris Klein, excuse me, not Paul Klein. I'm thinking about the state soccer tournament over at Paul Klein Field. But what happens is you're working with Captain Liz. And I've worked with Captain Liz on a couple things. She is a go-getter.
Listen, she's such a resource for the community. The Salvation Army, I completely had no idea all the services they offer. I mean, they have tutoring. They have the Red Shield after-school program. They do summer camps with these kids. They take them to get these experiences in. They do the food pantry there. I actually was looking, Captain Liz had posted, I think just within the past couple days, that with the change in the SNAP benefits, they normally give out about 120 food boxes throughout the month. She said, with these changes, they've had double those numbers.
Yeah. And so my daughter and I went to the after school program one day, and I did see 2 nursing students there volunteering.
Yeah, Kelsey Daniels, she's one of ours.
Yeah. And so they told me they volunteer at the after school program quite a bit.
Yeah. She said she spends a lot of time tutoring is kind of what she does, but she spends a lot of time tutoring those students. Yeah.
Excellent. And I love the fact that they're helping people. And so, Madam President, you know, as you're going through school, do you have any subjects that, you know, you get a little help on or anything? Math. Okay. You know, I don't know why everybody dislikes math, but I got this theory that the reason people don't like math is because when you go home and do math homework, they give you a bunch of problems, okay? Who wants to carry home a bunch of problems, okay? So if they tell you math solutions, I believe you'll like it more. What do you think? Yeah, there you go. I like how you think. But seriously, in middle school and everything, and Patsy was talking about some of the things that they train on at the Salvation Army. And one of the big things, talking about vaping and tobacco use and everything, are you all learning about the hazards of vaping and stuff in school?
Yes, actually, just 2 weeks ago, we had a STEAM thing that people came in and talking about vaping and what was in the vapes and the hazards of it.
Yeah. And I love the fact that our educators are working with our young people, because you are the future, Madam President, and you knowing the potential hazards or downfalls to various things is very important for your future growth and success. So when you had and you learned about vaping and the different things, what did you take away from it?
That there are a lot of bad things.
Bad things.
in
Okay.
that.
Well, I'm going to tell you, like I tell my daughter every morning, all we need to do is make good decisions in life. You know, there are many opportunities for us to make decisions. All we got to do is make good decisions. And so now, Patsy, back to the volunteering at the Salvation Army again. You ran down a list of different things like that. But one of the things that stuck out to me was kind of like the community health. And I was always told that our health is our wealth. Tell me more about the community health aspect of what you're doing.
Yeah, so here at WVU Tech, the senior nursing students have a whole course that's focused on nothing but the community. So we start taking the knowledge of, okay, nurses are in the hospital, and flipping that on their head and telling them, okay, we're also out in the community. So one of the things that we're doing is this health fair event where they get the opportunity to reach some of those underserved populations directly. They're having those face-to-face conversations. They're starting to develop those relationships and those networks, because now they're exposed directly to the patient population, as well as some of those critical services that those patients need.
And so when you look at the students and they're having that hands-on experience, what is their response?
Honestly, amazement. I think that sometimes these students have a little bit of a sheltered mindset. They may not be seeing directly what these underserved populations look like, or what their lack of resources look like. So they start hearing these real people tell their real stories. And I think it brings into perspective for them that a lot of us are just one major life event from being in the same situation.
Yeah. And I think that's important, because, you know, you're giving them an opportunity to see the real world and get exposed. But, you know, one of the things, thinking about exposure, and Madam President, this might be something interesting for you. One thing that you do as part of your volunteer outreach is the Junior Nursing Academy. Tell us a little bit more about the Junior Nursing Academy.
Yeah, so my colleague Kelly Coleman, she's like the front runner for this. But our Junior Nursing Academy, we spend a lot of time and effort into exposing these students to different professions. So students in the southern part of West Virginia can apply to come to our Junior Nursing Academy, and they spend a couple of days with us doing things like getting CPR certified and learning how to address an acute need in a patient to the level of their capability. And then we also try to incorporate some fun activities. Like this summer, we took them over to Raleigh General, and we got to go into their OR, and the students actually got to play with their Da Vinci invasive surgical bot, which was so cool. The students loved that. We had great feedback from that. We do some other things. We took them up to the air evac base in Beckley, and they got to look around in the helicopter, and they got to talk directly to the flight nurse and the flight paramedic and the pilot, and they got to get in and look around and put helmets on. It was a really cool experience.
I love it. So, Madam President, are you going to the Junior Nursing Academy?
Most likely, yes.
Most likely. And so with the Junior Nursing Academy, what thing would you be most looking forward to do?
I don't know.
Probably the flight nurse. Could you imagine going up in the helicopter, health net and stuff? And I think, Patsy, you've had some students that recently have flown on the health net flight, right?
Yeah. So I actually, again, tying into that networking piece. So I used to work with HealthNet, and I reached out to the management at the Beckley and Lewisburg bases, and I said, hey, I think we have this unique opportunity to expose our students to an area of nursing that maybe people don't know about. So we get to send a student over there once a month, and they get to ride along with the crew for a 12-hour shift. And they, of course, there's the confidentiality piece and the typical components, but they get to go on these flights, and they get to see real time what it's like to get into the back of an ambulance and pick up an acutely ill patient that's having a heart attack or a stroke, and then getting them over to the hospital, and what that flow looks like and how it is different from what we typically view nursing as.
I love it, given the hands-on, practical, theoretical components coupled together to educate nurses. And so I see why you have a quality nursing program. Now, back to your volunteer activities at the Salvation Army. You did mention the students having a capstone project. Tell us more about Capstone.
Yeah, so their capstone project kind of brings in that real world experience so that they can start putting these pieces together, because a lot of times students that invest in their baccalaureate level learning will eventually go on to get things like a master's degree or a doctorate. So this project helps them start learning what building on that research and taking those pieces and applying it looks like. So then with their capstone project, they're collecting research, they're building data, they're taking this information to design and implement interventions, and then they're on a very small scale collecting that data at pre and post to see what that's going to look like. They invest about 180 hours in just this one project alone.
Yeah, and so at the end of that particular project, real quick, what do they use? What are their responses typically?
I think that they enjoy it. It's very stressful in the interim, but by the end of it, they're very proud of themselves to see all of that hard work come to fruition and be actually able to see it.
And so, Madam President, you see by far that hard work pays off. Again, ladies and gentlemen, in studio with us today, Patsy Stoots, a faculty member in the School of Nursing here at Tech, and also our president for the day, Jasmin Bixby. We're going to take a short break, so stick with News Talk WWNR as we close out this edition of Our Communiversity Today.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
Holy cow, I can't believe the time that I've wasted, and this website still is down.
With arms wide open, Cucumber & Company is ready to take your business higher with a custom website that actually works for you. Don't wait until your old site takes its one last breath. Get a fresh design today at cucumberandcompany.com.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity Today. Again, I want to thank our guest, Patsy Stoots, who serves as a faculty member in the School of Nursing here at WVU Tech, and also our president for the day, a special program that we have for young people in this area, none other than Jasmin Bixby, for joining us to talk about service and how important service is. And I want to thank them for sharing not only their time, but also their talent with you, our listeners. And when you think about the talent that they serve, one of the things is they talked about the need to serve. And service is so critical, whether it's through the activities that Patsy will lead at the Salvation Army here in Beckley, West Virginia on the week of December the 3rd, but also going in and really working, educating educators today and students of today to prepare to be servants of tomorrow. And it's with this notion of service in mind that not only does the School of Nursing boast being one of the top programs in the entire state, it also prepares the students for the real world, for the people they will encounter. And through that preparation, we do believe it will lead to elevation. And so I encourage our listeners to go out and be of service to someone else. And if you want to learn more about being of service or more about the work of Patsy, please visit WWNRradio.com for additional information about this service and how you can help build our community today for a brighter Southern West Virginia tomorrow.
You've been listening to Our Communiversity Today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber & Company. a production of West Virginia University Institute of Technology and Communiversity partner, Southern Communications in Beckley. For more on this program and contact information, visit our website at wwnrradio.com.